But the second reason that I disagree with that statement is because I don't consider performance, which to me is part of competence, as separate from trust and trustworthiness. I have a model, my relative trust model. That model has 6 components grouped in 2. There is the who you are, and that's made of competence, personality, compatibility, and symmetry. And there's what you do. That's the positivity, time, and intimacy. Let's put aside the what you do because that's already during an interaction. Before the interaction, before you go on the battlefield with me, before you get into the cabin when I'm in the cockpit, before you get into my operating room, there is the who I am, okay, or who you are. And that's made of competence, personality, compatibility, and symmetry. Symmetry is kind of situational. There's not a lot of symmetry when I'm the pilot and you're the passenger. There's not a lot of symmetry when I'm the surgeon and you're the patient. Put that aside. Personality compatibility is, one part of it is how much do I care about you, and that definitely is important. But competence is actually part of it. And I know that many models look at those components and maybe under different names and under different combinations and different categorizations, but they look at them as cumulative. Okay, so let's say that I rank 100% on personality compatibility, 100% on symmetry, just I'm a 0 at performance, or not even a 0, 50 on performance. So we add them all up and then we average them. And you know what? If I'm 100 here and 100 here and let's say 40 here, divided by 3, I'm an 80. 80 is pretty good, right? Except I'm 40 on competence. And that's not good enough. So my model, I don't look at trust, at those 3 components as being cumulative or trying to figure out the average of them. I look at the product of the 3. So I multiply them. Competence times personality compatibility times symmetry. And so if you're 0 on any of them or have a very low score, it is going to drag everything down. There is only one problem, and that is if you're 100% on all 3 of them, 100% times 100% times 100%, you're at 100. If you're 0 on all 3 of them, you're a 0. Or on any of them, you're a 0. The problem is that if you're halfway, if you're 50% on each one of them, multiplying 50% by 50% by 50% or half by half by half is actually going to give you 1/8, 12.5%. And that is misleading. So what I did was I actually added one more element to it, and that is I use the cubic root of this product. Because if you use the cubic root of multiplying half, 50%, 3 times, you would actually get 50%. So first, those are not separate. Competence is part of trustworthiness, just like personality compatibility, which is essentially what Simon Sinek referred to as when we talked about the off the battlefield or outside of the cockpit or outside of the operating room. That's part of it. How much you care about me, how much you tell me the truth, and so on. Those are things that are true off the battlefield and on the battlefield. The competence is still part of it. And I may not care about the competence in certain things, I do in other things. But I'll talk about that in the next segment. This was only a part of an episode of The Trust Show. You can watch the full episode on my YouTube channel, The Trust Show, or listen to it on The Trust Show podcast on Apple or anywhere else you listen to your favorite podcasts. Thank you for watching.